Of late, I've been seeing a lot of students becoming obsessed about getting an All India rank. I believe that this is mainly because of two reasons. Reason number one, students see a lot of success stories from the rank holders themselves on social media like LinkedIn and YouTube. They get to hear about the placement news and the starting salary package. And the second reason is that there are a lot of faculties who are actually pushing this dream and selling this to students by saying that I will help you get a rank. It is very much possible. They are actually selling the dream. Today, I'm taking a small step towards stopping this obsession. Your ego will hate this video, but your future is largely dependent on what I'm going to cover in this video. I'm going to show you exactly how to ditch this rank fantasy and how to adopt a realistic thinking that guarantees you a safe professional future. So, despite all this, I want you to sit with an open mind, listen to what I'm going to say, take notes even if you want to. Let's begin. The very first thing that I want to start with is the disclaimer that whatever I'm going to say in this video is not intended to undermine the achievements of any rank holders currently and in the past. I know how difficult it is to clear a CA exam, so absolutely it is not a joke to clear the CA course with rank at any level. So, first things first, I don't want any room for misinterpretation. The sole objective of this video is only to make sense to a few students who live in this delusion and stay disconnected from reality. Because I myself had been in this delusion for a large part of my CA career, which we will hear later in this video. So, what do we do? Step number one, you have to understand survivorship bias. This is a technical term in behavioral science for a very simple commonsensical concept that our mothers and grandmothers used to say at our home. Maybe when you were a child, you must have said that I want to become a Rajnikant, I want to become Sachin Tendulkar. So, what if somebody says like this wild dream? The mother or the grandmother will say that, okay, you want to become a Rajnikant or you want to become Sachin Tendulkar and you want to go to Mumbai or Chennai. 1 lakh people from every village will go to Chennai to become Rajnikant, but out of that 1 lakh, only one person end up actually becoming Rajnikant. So what about all the others? You don't hear about all the other 99,999 people. What happened to them? They could be better off having stayed in their hometown doing some respectable job or profession. So that is survivorship bias. We tend to see the success stories, we tend to magnify whoever has actually made it, but we neglect to hear about the story of how many people who actually started the journey but did not end up achieving the outcome. So that is survivorship bias. We fail to see the people who ended up actually not achieving the outcome. So to put this in perspective, this is the data that you can see. CA Inter overall rank holders. There are totally 50 ranks, but let's say there will be lots of people getting the same rank, like 39th rank, there will be like 3-4 people, 40th rank, there will be 4-5 people. So let us assume that overall in this country, 150 to 250, anywhere between in this range, people would have gotten rank. But see the total number of people who appeared in the exam, 1,59,779 people. Let's round it up to 1.6 lakh people. Out of this 1.6 lakhs, do you see how many people actually got rank? It is just 0.15, not even 1%. This is in CA Inter. Now CA Final shows a relatively better data, but it is still not convincing. Again, same 150 to 250 rank holders. The number of students who appeared for CA Final is 81,852. Let's round this up to 82,000 people. So out of this 82,000 people, again, only 250 people got to, get a rank. So that gives you a chance of 0.31%. Again, you don't have 1% chance to get rank in a CA exam. You are fighting for less than 1%. So I really ask you to understand this game of probability, respect the probability, and set your dream accordingly. So that leads us to the second topic, which is swimmer's body illusion. If you ever get to read this book, The Art of Thinking Clearly, you will see the second chapter called Swimmer's Body Illusion. Let me read a very important passage from that chapter. Professional swimmers don't have perfect bodies because they train extensively. Rather, they are good swimmers because of their physique. How their bodies are designed is a factor for selection and not the result of their activities. Similarly, female models advertise cosmetics, and thus many female consumers believe that these products make you beautiful. But it is not the cosmetics that make these women model like. Quite simply, the models are born attractive, and only for this reason they are candidates for cosmetics advertising. So, this is extremely relevant for you to ditch this rank fantasy, because if you see people becoming Olympic level professional swimmers, is it because of all the training and rigorous hard work that they did all these years? Yes, to a large extent that also plays a role, but primarily it is because they have a very naturally fit body. If you want to become a professional Olympic level swimmer, your torso should be disproportionately long. If you don't believe me, Google a typical swimmer's physique. You will see how disproportionately long their torsos are and how disproportionately long hands they have, which makes them like easy to become a pro swimmer. The same logic goes for women who end up becoming, cosmetic brand ambassadors. Is it because they used the cosmetics and because of that they became beautiful, or were they hired in the first place to endorse the cosmetics because they are naturally attractive? So you have to understand what is a precondition or is it a result. So if you apply the same logic, you have to ask this question: rank holders get all India rank purely because of the hard work that they said that they put all these months, or is it because they became rank holders because they are slightly more intelligent and slightly luckier than the typical CS students to begin with? I'm being very careful about using these two terms because I strongly believe rank holders are slightly more intelligent than the typical students like you and me. I'm including myself here. The next thing is, what does a typical rank holder say in a success interview? You must have heard a lot of success interviews from them on social media, right? What do you naturally hear? You might hear them saying, I started my preparation 6, 7, 8 months back. I studied more than 10 hours every day, 12 hours every day. And I wrote 3, 4 model tests. I did a lot of revisions. I did a lot of notes. So these are the typical things that you hear in pretty much every rank holder's interview. At least that's what I have seen from the research that I have done. So far, I've been following this for a very long time. So the pattern is pretty much the same. But what the rank holders don't say, or what the interviewers don't ask the rank holders. If I were interviewing a rank holder, the first question that I would ask is, how much have you been getting from your class 8? In every class test, in every school exam, how much have been your score? And particularly I will ask, what was your board score in class 10 and what was your score in class 12 board exam? I will ask particularly these two questions. And I'm very sure that I will be getting an answer of, I've been getting 90 plus or 95 plus pretty much in every exam since their childhood. You can test this the next time you see a rank holder or you see a friend of a rank holder. You can validate this data. You will hardly see a person who got rank who had been mediocre like 60s and 70s percentage in their class 8, 9. That's how much they have been getting in their school days. And in 10th, let's say they got 80 percentage, in plus 2 they got 80 percentage, and suddenly they came to CA and they become a rank holder. See, I have been a 70 percentage guy in my school. I happened to be a school topper because the competition where I studied was extremely low. I got 89 percentage in my class 12 and I became a school topper. So it was naturally not meant for me to compete at that level, to get into, rank to play at that level. Okay, moving on. all the social media posts on manifesting. Okay, now a confession time. Now that I've been advising you not to aim for rank, did I have such a rational mindset when I did CA? No, I did not have that. I wanted to become a rank holder myself when I was doing CA because I did not clear in first attempt. A lot of you may know. So when I failed inter a couple of times and in final a couple of times, you tend to stay back among your peers, your friends and your classmates. You may see them moving much ahead of you in their career. You may not be able to go to any gathering with a straight face. You will feel that natural awkwardness and you feel slightly inferior to them. You may be struggling in CA final. The friends with whom you had studied, they would have cleared and they would have started their first job and they would be earning 70,000-80,000 per month, and they will be saying that I bought this phone, I went to this vacation. You feel happy for them genuinely from one point, but then the reality sinks in that you realize that you are still stuck in CA final, and in a way it kind of triggers that dark side in you, and you genuinely tend to believe that you want to get above all of them. You want to make you want to prove that you are much superior than your peers. So what you naturally tend to think, okay, if I normally pass group by group, that won't be enough because I had stayed behind in that rat race. So if I have to get much ahead of them, I have to announce a big thing. I have to get some big breakthrough. So getting rank is the only natural solution. So that's exactly how I used to think, because I failed 7 times in CA Inter, I failed 7 times in CA final, I cleared my Inter at 8th attempt and final at 8th attempt. So when I had been stuck in CA for that long, after having failed in final for 3rd and 4th attempt, every attempt I aimed for both groups because I wanted to clear CA final with a rank. So that way I can tell all my friends and relatives, see, I am a much worthy person. So I will show you, this is my diary from 2015. A portion of this diary had been spent. This bunch of pages is nothing but I took the question from the success interviews of all the rank holders. I just took the questions alone and I wrote the answers myself from a first person point of view. So I started visualizing, what if I had been the All India rank number 1 in CA final? Yes, you are hearing me right. I used to do such silly thinking and I had been that delusional. Particularly, you may see I have stapled some pages here. This entire thing, whatever I have written in the name of interview, I had stapled this entire segment of pages because they are superb cringe. I don't want anybody to go through them, including me. When I see such posts on manifesting that I will get All India rank, and I see people on their study table writing I will get All India rank number 1, all those things, I find their heart to be so like pure thing. But at the same time, I kind of know that it is not going to happen. The probability is very less. So should you stop manifesting altogether? Does manifesting not work at all? I'm not going to say manifesting doesn't work, because I have gotten a few positive things in my life because of manifestation. So I believe there is a way to do manifestation. How to do better manifestation? Instead of aiming for something that is absolutely beyond your grasp, why don't you try to write in your diary that over the next 10 days, I will study every day 7+ hours with full focus. Over the next week, my phone usage will be, let's say, less than 30 minutes per day. Why don't you try to manifest that first? Why don't you have some small wins under your bag? Why don't you try to manifest that in the upcoming exam, I will write one group. I will try to have at least 100 hours of effective preparation over the next 30 days in each paper. And I will get 55 plus in each paper, and I will respectably get a good total and come out of that group. Why don't you try to manifest that? So that will be my recommendation regarding manifesting. So that takes us to the last part of this video. Your future job prospects and catching up with the rank holders. So some of you might ask, do you know how much salary the rank holders get at their first job? Do you ever think we will be able to catch up with those rank holders? If you are advising me to not aim for rank, do you ever think that we will be ever able to catch up with the rank holders? Yes, you won't be able to catch up with the rank holders. My question is, why do you need to catch up? Your life is your life, isn't it? Why do you need to catch up with the rank holders? Don't you have that much of self-esteem and confidence in yourself that don't you feel assured enough that you will have a good life as long as you become a chartered accountant? You will have a good life, you will have a respectable life. The moment you become a chartered accountant, you are already in that privileged top 5% of people, working class in the country. Don't you understand that? You just have to become a normal chartered accountant. I had made a particular video, specific video about this topic last year. I'll just quickly repeat the point here. Whether you become an All India rank holder or you become a normal chartered accountant, at the first job, the difference will be there. Yes, they will call the shots on which company they want to go. They will have a say on which profile that they get into. Yes, they have a few privileges. But even if you are an All India rank number 1, that honeymoon period is for the first 12 months or maybe for the first 15 months. After you get into that, after the first 12-15 month period, if you don't perform, they don't care about whether you are an All India rank holder or you are just a normal chartered accountant. Beyond the point of the first employment, the first 12 months of your first employment, your ranks or your attempts will not matter at all. Beyond that point, for your employer, only the performance will count. For his bottom line, for his profit and loss account, how much you are contributing. Were you a cost center or are you a profit center? That's what ultimately they will see. If they see you as a cost, if they see you as a liability, you'll be shown your way out the door. So that is the main thing. Your future job prospect, if you have kept multiple attempts, yes, you will have a slight difficulty in getting that first job. You will be prioritized. You will not be prioritized. The rank holders will be prioritized above you. The first attempters will be prioritized above you. I had faced all those difficulties, but my suggestion is just get into any job that you get first time. Don't argue with the salary package. Don't argue with the shift timings and everything. Just blindly get your first job, get your foot in the door and work like crazy for the first 2 years. Don't talk about work-life balance. I'm not asking you to do this for the next 40-50 years. Do this only for 2 years. After the first 2 to 3 years, your people will forget about your class 10, class 12, inter, final marks and everything. People will remember only what you have done in the last 24 to 36 months. And if you had done some respectable things in those 24-36 months that you can fill your resume, your future is sorted. I've done the same thing. I've done exactly the same thing. I got the job I got. I did not ask for anything. I did not negotiate on my salary package. I realized that I was already 26 and I had already kept 15-16 attempts. And I got a job somehow. I thankfully got it and worked like crazy for the first 2.5 years. And then I built a respectable resume. I learned what I have to learn. I learned how the corporate works and everything. That enabled me to come out of corporate and start a business. And I'm now living a very peaceful and productive life. So this is what I wanted to say. But what if you still want to get a rank? Now, if you're not convinced with any of the points that I had said so far, and if you still want to get a rank, now do this assessment. In the last 3 months, for how long you studied per day. Don't give me an estimate, give me an accurate number. You don't have an accurate number, then don't aim for a rank. Because you haven't been tracking how long you have been studying. You don't have an accurate control of how much time you have been studying and how much time you are wasting. If you want to get a rank or if you want to get something big happening in your life, start to build the system first. And the best way to start your system, best way to build a system is to start tracking your time. For the next 10 days, monitor your life. See how much phone you have been using, how much screen time you have, how much content you are consuming, and how much you are actually studying. Do you have evidence that you can build a consistent study performance? How long do you have for your exam? If you are in like just cleared foundation and if you are into inter, and ask about your historical trajectory, how much were you getting in your school exams? Were you always a 90 plus student, 95 plus student? Then yes, you can aim for a rank in inter. If you were like a 70 plus, 80 plus student, you know what type of student I'm talking about. If you are that type of student, then have a realistic expectation that yes, I can become chartered accountant. I'm very much capable of becoming a chartered accountant, but getting a rank is a different game. In the very first chapter of Substance and Form, I would have said that there is actually not so great correlation between being intelligent and becoming a chartered accountant. It doesn't matter how much intelligence you have, even if you think that you have very normal IQ or little slightly lower IQ, you can still become a chartered accountant. But then in the middle of the video, I said that rank holders are like extra, like they have extra intelligence than the normal people. It might look like I had been contradicting myself. I am not contradicting myself. Please understand, I still believe that anybody can become a normal chartered accountant as long as they study properly, as long as they have the system and discipline in place. But getting a rank is a different game. And before I let you go, one last favor I'm asking you is that in your group, in your circle, if you find at least one student who is deluding themselves that they're telling everybody to in every group they're saying that I'm going to get all India rank, I'm going to get all India rank. And if you truly believe that they are not going to get all India rank, share this video with them. This could be one big help that you are doing for their life. I will see you in the next video. Thank you and bye bye.